There we go.
Hey man, how the hell you doing? I've been just fine, living life with the noose and in my mind, all I hear is music. Watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. I feel like everyone's a stranger. Small talk with your narcissistic neighbor. She's real hot, but they said to never date her. Ha, I agree, but you did and I hate her. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
All right. There we go. We got to take it down. Bringing it in. And today, we are talking about the rake. When are we going to quit stepping on these rakes? That's what I want to know. Seems like we've been just stepping on rakes right here. You're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. Well, America, we've been being tough here. However, what's going on has not been a good thing as of recent. And I've brought this up a couple times. I always go back and, bang on the dead horse with an oversized fucking soup ladle. But when people are in a financially perilous position, which many people are at this point in time, they don't make good decisions. People don't make good decisions when they're stressed out. When you're stressed, you don't think right. Yeah, I don't care who you are. You don't. It's not something that works that way. Does that make an excuse for going out and pulling off a mass casualty event? Of course not. Of course not. I don't know enough about any of this. I know the kid in Buffalo. He said they said, I don't know what he said. And I don't think anybody even saw what I put up the other day because I think it got cut off. So if that didn't come out, I'm going to see if I can't pull it up again. We might go over it later tonight. I'm just going to do a short one here right now. But I was just sitting there today and I thought, you know what? I said, this is just like we're stepping on a goddamn rake. Every day it's just like stepping on a rake. You just turn around and there's another whack. So I started thinking about Sideshow Bob. Remember that Sideshow Bob on The Simpsons? He's just standing there like in the street and there's just rakes everywhere. And he's just stepping on them. And every time he turns around, he's got another rake to the face. Just whack and he just goes, hits him again. Turns around, whack. That's what this feels like right now. It's like every time we turn around, we're getting a rake to the face. And then we've got this mush head, this tapioca brain potato head. And apparently he just had to get evacuated from his place. Or not just evacuated. This happened a couple hours ago at least. There was an unauthorized airplane flying over his place, his beach house in Delaware. So Secret Service, they got him and his husband, Dr. Joe Biden. Isn't that how that works? Oh, wait, I got that mixed up. Oopsie. I think I made it. Oopsie. And they took him, it looked like, to a fire station, which they were calling a safe house. So, interesting. Maybe there's more to that fire station than we know. Maybe there's something underneath. There probably is. But that's a good waste of taxpayer money right there. Not only did we pay for him to take his ass down there to Delaware to ride his little bicycle around and eat waffle cones and, do whatever it is that he does, not give a shit about what's going on, not care about doing his job. He couldn't give a fuck less. This shit don't affect him. It doesn't matter. He get up there and grandstand and talk about how bad he feels. I mean, he's up there the other day and just says, "Yeah, I really don't see any way that we can just snap our fingers and just come out of this. You're going to continue to see these high prices." You know what, America? Where are we at here? Where are we? Where are we at? We're just going to sit here and just keep on eating it. Just eat it and eat it and eat it. They're just going to shovel shit down, 340 million people's faces. And we're all just going to sit here and take it. Because you know why we're going to do that? Because we're all divided amongst each other. We all wear stupid hats that we don't like the other guy's hat. We don't like the other guy's sign. We don't like the fact that he voted for somebody that was just going to do the same fucking thing that the guy you voted for did. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You're going to get the same shit. I mean, this dude, we are right back in the same position. We're in a war by proxy. I mean, all it takes is one little misstep here and boom, all of a sudden, there's the NATO clause that boom, now we're involved and we got boots on the ground in Ukraine and Russia with Putin's finger on the trigger. And he's got China behind him, and guess who has hypersonic missiles? China and Russia do. We don't have them, nor do we have any defense against them. So there we are. This is everybody was so worried about Trump, how Trump was, you can't have him with his finger on the button. What about this guy? He doesn't even know what the button is. He might push it thinking that he's going to get a fucking lollipop out of the thing or something. I think they got a tighter reins on him than that, but I don't think the guys holding the reins know what the fuck they're doing either, because you're talking about people like that fucking Jake Sullivan. And, look at the 51 assholes that signed that letter saying that that Hunter's laptop was Russian disinformation. That was 51 former intelligence officers, including good old Clapper, the guy that lied and just skated right through the statutes of limitations, and now he's still got an influential voice. No one should ever listen to him ever again. Just like my contention is that Joe Biden should not be allowed to travel in anything that has a combustion engine or a diesel motor, compression. Nothing. Air, land, sea, nothing. He can ride his bike. He can paddle a canoe. He can get a hang glider, fly a kite. But with what he's done to this country, with the energy crisis that we're going through, the supply chain crisis, there's no baby formula. And I went over these numbers the other night. The average on the year, okay, for this Chronobacter Sakazaki, if I'm pronouncing that right, that's how it's spelled. There is typically 4 infections per year. Okay? So this period, we went back to the last one, and it was like, it was back there quite a ways. So, but the period that we had the 4 infections come up in the country, we were looking from September of 21 to January of 22. You had 1 infection in Texas, 1 in Michigan, and 2 in Ohio. Now, tragically, the 2 infants in Ohio passed away. And so there were samples that were sent in, and they did a whole genome sequence. And yes, they did have the Chronobacter, and you know what that leads to is meningitis. And so in a child that age, it's pretty much fatal. But the samples, the whole genome sequence that they did on those 2 samples did not match any of the 5 strains of the Chronobacter that they found at Abbott, in that Abbott production facility. So what does that lead you to believe? As I said before, to me, it's obvious that they got this from someplace else, because it didn't match anything that came from that production facility. So the numbers weren't, I mean, I broke down the numbers. With 2 out of 4 children dying from this, our fatality rate on that was 0.000005%. It was basically 0.5 per million. Now, the most recent numbers that I could find as far as infant live births in a year came back from 2020. It takes a while for these numbers to get crunched, or I just can't do my research, apparently. But I came up with almost 3.7 million children, babies, live births in 2020. And of those live births, there was it was a lot. There was like 19,000 infant mortalities, as opposed to 2. And I don't believe that anything was done in 2020 that was as drastic as shutting down a baby formula facility. The baby formula thing is an interesting deal, just because there's such a monopoly on it. And then you throw in Abbott supplies, I believe they supply for any of the WIC recipients. And so a lot of that stuff, as it's come in, has not been distributed. I don't know what happened to the pallets of formula that were down on the borders. I don't know why those pallets of formula weren't in stores for, American babies. It's not our responsibility to have pallets of formula waiting for people who are crossing the borders illegally. Now, we can get into the whole semantics and the whole right or wrong about the border policies in this country. Now, listen, here's the thing. It's illegal. It's the way it is. I mean, I don't think that, I don't smoke pot. I haven't smoked pot in fucking years. Long ass time. I think it should be legal. I mean, I don't even think it should be anything that should even be discussed. It's a plant, for fuck's sake. It shouldn't be a legal thing. It shouldn't even be taxed. It shouldn't even have to be declared as being legal, because it's just a damn plant. I feel the same way about all drugs. I mean, how many people are dying every year from prescription medication, from opioids? They go out, they get addicted, they can't kick, they resort to street drugs, now they're criminals. I mean, this is a fucked up mess that we're living in. People stepping on rakes. That's what we're doing. We're stepping on fucking rakes. Left and right. Step on a rake over here. Bam. Fucking turn around trying to get away from it. You step on another one. You know what? We got to clear those fucking rakes off the ground, people. We got to start picking them rakes up. I mean, that's my analogy for the day. I mean, this is silly. Absolutely silly. I'm just gonna show a little sideshow Bob here, in case you guys don't remember this. Let's see. All right, then we got Mr. Sideshow Bob stepping on rakes. Here we go. There we are. Blah. Blah. Notice how he's all covered in cactus. classic episode. So there's a guy I saw, he's got a 10-hour video of Sideshow Bob stepping on rakes. I always got a kick out of that one. But that's where we are. That's where we are, people. Stepping on fucking rakes. I mean, honestly, come on. You know, it's ridiculous. The thing is we don't, there's no answer that a politician has to any of our problems right now. There's not a single one of them that has an answer to our problems. They don't do anything but make shit worse. And then we just fling another one in there. Oh, well, this one had a D next to his name. We'll put this one with an R in there and we'll fling him in there and watch and see what happens there. It's not working. The experiment is not working. Somebody explain to me how this is working. And I'll explain to you 150 fucking ways that it's not, just off the top of my head. This is not working. What we got going here is not working. We're losing the right to free speech. They're in the middle of trying to kill the Second Amendment. You know, does something need to happen? Does the gun violence need to stop? Yeah, it does. But there's a root cause that's a lot deeper than what we got going on. Now, I'm not opposed to saying that. How you gonna, those two kids, the big ones that happened, now there's been a ton, there was 14 over Memorial Day, okay, people? There's been mass shootings almost every fucking day. Almost every day. They just don't hit the ticker like those ones did. You know? I've yet to see the manifesto from the kid in Buffalo. I'll see if I can find that picture. I don't know if I can or not. I know I've got it. And I went over it the other night with Ricardo, but I think it got cut off. And maybe the reason it got cut off was because they didn't really want somebody to point this shit out. But I'm going to point it out again in case you didn't see it. I don't know if it came through or not. It may not have. But we're going to pull this up and put it up here on the wall monitor. Maybe. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I was hoping to. And it doesn't want to let me move it. Let's see if we can go another route here. I don't even know if you guys saw that up in front of me there. No, I don't think I can get out of preferences. Let's see if we can do this number. It's all about the technicalities. And I've been having a lot of problems with those. And as soon as I pull up a photo, all of a sudden I start dropping frames like a motherfucker. That's probably what happened the other night. Bummer, dude. All right, we got preview. That's not what I want. Well, let me see if I can find it here. We'll see. We might be able to get it. We might not. Anyway, I just thought about this today. I was like, you know what? It's just like it's stepping on rakes. That's all we've been doing. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, we just turn around and we just do it over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's just, yeah, great. There goes a pin. It's a definition of, it's the alcoholic's definition of insanity. And we're like the children of alcoholics. I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then it just, every day, it just gets worse every day. It doesn't get better. Has anybody noticed anything getting better? Has anybody seen a thing get better? We had some things getting better. when Bad Man Orange was in there, things were actually getting better for this country. We were energy independent. Unemployment was at an all-time low. Black unemployment was at an all-time low. The situation at the border was, under control. I mean, everybody wants to talk about the separating children. That's been going on forever. Barack Obama and Joe Biden built those cages. They built the cages, okay? They deported more Hispanics than anybody in the history of, any administration, period. Trust me, I watched it go down. I watched the way it happened. I was locked up in Southern California when they were in there. I watched what they would do because the federal prison system has a slave labor called Unicor. Look it up. They'd bring these guys in that were, they were from, across the border, and they'd only have to pay them a certain amount, and as soon as they were eligible for a pay increase, boom, on a bus, they'd go to the next one. Every federal joint has a Unicor. They do anything from building lockers for governmental agencies to building wiring harnesses for Humvees to, dairy farms to, making the clothes, you name it. It's all slave labor, and it's all really cutting those opportunities away from private business owners to produce these things, because how the hell are you going to compete with somebody that's paying 23 cents an hour for labor? They're sending these guys out to fight fires for a buck an hour or whatever. I mean, and dudes are signing, they're ready to go. They're like, shit, yeah, get me out there. They just want to get out. Anyway, let's see if we can find this guy. I'm trying to remember his last name. Peyton something. Let's see if we can find this photo again. All right, there it is. If I can blow it up. I don't even know if I can. Let's see. I had it up here the other night, but then when Ricardo and I got done, I realized I had like 6.5 minutes for something of video, and it was all gone. And it all said it was fine. So I don't know if I got, if I got the old, what do you call it done? The old, they did the Kansas City Shuffle on me. It wouldn't surprise me. It has happened before. Let's see if we can find this thing. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go over this one more time. Well, now why is it coming up down here? I don't want it down here. Here we go. All right, we're going to bring this in. Okay. And I'm going to switch places with this. And we're just going to go over here like so. So now you got a bigger shot of it, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this, and I think you can see my cursor. Okay, we have some issues here. And I don't know if it's going to let me. Yeah, we have some stuff going on here that is. All right, we'll start number one. See where the cursor is right here between this kid's arms? What's behind him? Right there. Glass, right? That's a spot between his arm and his side, okay? He's cuffed behind his back. He's looking towards his right. And that opens up that gap. Look at that. You're not seeing glass through there, okay? There's another issue down here with that. All right? Right there. Now, when I put this in my software, it wanted to pick that up and delete it. Okay, let's look at his feet. Look at these feet. Okay? Anybody see what I'm talking about here? Look at these feet. Look at that foot. Look at that. Anybody find anything weird about those shoes? He's a tall kid, but those are like some damn 16s. I mean, those are some big ass floppy ass. I mean, some weird ass looking boots. Okay, look at this leg right here. Okay, see how that is perfectly straight. Look at that. And if you really can zoom in on it, you've got a different color right here on the concrete than you do right here. Look at the foot. Just sharp. Perfect. Okay? Now, this fellow's, look at this face on this guy. This police officer right here. Look at his face. He doesn't have any, he doesn't have a mouth. There's no mouth. It's just blurred out. You see that? What's going on here? Okay, now from this angle where this photo is taken, you wouldn't be able to see a straight-on reflection of this police vehicle. However, you would be able to see the front portion of it. And there's no reflection. There's no reflection in that glass. Who is this lady over here? Is this an officer? She might be. It's hard to tell. She's got a real crusty look on her face. Okay, look at this license plate. C-956. Now, we looked up, Ricardo and I looked up, license plates from that police department. They're not, that's not the way they are. They have a New York license plate on them, okay? See how it's just off with the rest of the vehicle. C-956, what's that mean? Cruiser 956? Okay, let's look at this guy over here. Look at the size of his feet, okay? This guy, he's a pretty big dude, right? He might be a little shorter than this guy, but he's still a pretty big dude. Now, some guys have small feet, some guys got big feet. I mean, I got 13 dogs. I don't have to worry about falling forward. But look at his feet. What's he wearing? Those are some weird-ass looking little shoes he's got on. I don't know about that. Now, look at his leg right here, okay? Here we go. Up the back of the leg, right? Look at that. Now, watch this indentation. Look at look at that line right there. That is photoshopped. Look at this in the small of his back, right there. Look at that. See that? That's photoshopped. Up here, if I can zoom in, okay, there we go. There we got to zoom in. I can't get it much clearer. It's not a very good picture. But look at this. Look at that indentation in his head. Somebody ran the cursor up here and cut this out. And when they went across, they did this. See that? Watch the crosshairs. Look at that. See that? He has got an indentation in his head. Okay? Now look at this cutout over here. See this? Look at this. That's all cut out. Look, right around the cop car, all cut out. Right up into here, cut out. When we go down here, the curb, it just ends. Okay? Now here, we got a better zoom in. Look at this face. That guy doesn't have a face. And it ain't that kid's. This dude doesn't have a face. Look at his nose. Look at his mouth. Look at his hair. I mean, where did they get this guy from? Now, I'm trying to tell what this lady is back here. She does have a blue shirt on. It looks like she's got a walkie-talkie on her collar, so she might be an officer. That's probably what that is. But you can see there's some stuff cut out here that this is shopped. What do we got on the ground over here? And here. And look at those. I'm telling you. Look at this. Look how the steps. See how that step? That's a shaky hand. Look at this. That's somebody's hand. Somebody went through here and they did an edit job on this. Look at this. This is not normal. But look at that. I'm just saying, this is not normal shit. Look at the small of his back right there. Okay, now, yeah, he does have a vest on underneath, I would say. But that doesn't do that to your shirt. If anything, your shirt billows out. Somebody cut this out, and the guy's head right here, he has got a big indentation taken right out of his head. Granted, yeah, this looks like it's somebody took from a cell phone. I'm sure it was. And then I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this is that the kid had. I mean, I'm trying to figure that out, what this is. You can see he doesn't have it. It doesn't look like he's got anything on under that long sleeve camo shirt. Pants are falling down. Maybe it's his boxers. I don't know. The boots. This guy's shoes. You know, this is a cutout right here. Hey, see that? That's been cut out. I mean, somebody took their time with this, but they weren't, I mean, that is not even, I mean, no, that's just not even right. I mean, the dude's ass does a little, I mean, it's all angular, and then this thing in the back and the thing in the head, and then there's no reflection in the mirror, okay? There's no reflection in the mirror. And this guy doesn't have a fucking face. All right? No face. Where's his face? Look at that. He ain't got no, there's no lips. No nothing. She's even got a face back here. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it's a grainy photo. It's overexposed, but, you know. I mean, what do we got here? What is this? We got... It looks like night vision goggles. Something. The look on her face, this look on her face of consternation, and she's really out of focus. But this part right here, you don't see any. That should be. Look at that. Okay, line it up above him. Glass. That's not looking through the same thing that's here. You see that? Does anybody see that? I'm just saying, that's mighty fucking suspicious. This is suspicious. Okay? I had Ricardo look it up when he was in here the other night. We looked it up and we showed it to you. But I think the stream had gotten cut off. I don't know if it even went out. Which is why I'm beating a dead horse here on this thing. This is why I'm stepping on a rake. I don't know, folks. I'm just saying, you know, take a look. See what you think, because I'm not buying a lot of what we're being told about either of these incidents. Now, I also know that a lot of crazy information does come out when these things happen. But when I'm looking at photos, when I saw the photo of that kid's truck down in Texas and the way that those two axles had been splayed out like that, that ain't going to happen from just driving into a ditch. I'm sorry. That was a four-wheel drive truck. It wasn't big, huge, super duty or anything like that, but it was not going to just break both those axles. And the guardrail was still up. I mean, the only way that could have been a possibility was that had he gone off of that little bridge right there into that ditch. But you know, there was a chunk of guardrail, but there was no tire tracks in the grass and dirt. There was no, I mean, from everything I saw, I didn't see any kind of black tire marks down in the concrete in that ditch. I mean, it was a flat bottom with beveled edges. And the I believe it was the driver's side. The axles were broke and those tires were, you know, the wheels were pancaked. So, I mean, I'm not saying anything at all. I'm not making any I'm not making any kind of suggestion or anything. I'm just saying that the things that, you know, the way the stories have changed down there in Texas on a daily basis, it doesn't add up. Now, that could be a lack of training. It could be a number of things. It could be stress. I mean, you know, these guys are in a small town. Things like this don't typically happen. But there's training, too, that, you know, this is why the whole defund the police thing, I mean, even as an ex-con, I'm saying that that's a stupid-ass idea. You know? I mean, these guys need more training, you know? Shout out to Broward County Police Department down in Florida. I know you guys been watching. My good friend Charlie Caperton. How you doing, brother? It's been too long. We gotta get together and do another episode here, buddy. So I'm gonna try and get in touch with you. Hope everything's good with you. Happy belated birthday to my boy K-Pook Joshua. Hope you had a good birthday, brother. Wish I could have been there hanging out with you. But you should have come to Wyoming, man, because I'm not fixing to travel anywhere right now. You know what I mean? I'm staying put. So anyway, we're gonna cut it short here today. I'm gonna go out and mess around. I gotta go take a bunch of branches and shit out to the burn pile. Try and cut down the rest of this one tree at least. It's a tricky one though, and I'm not much of a I'm damn sure not a logger. So the guy that looked at it, he's like, "Oh yeah, I just do a base cut and just drop it right over here. Just move your truck and trailer and shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might just wait for him to get back." So anyway, other than that, I guess that's it. Let's quit stuff. Why don't we quit stepping on rakes though, people? Here's the thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this. You understand how many of us there are in the small itty bitty bunch of people that are pulling our chains just like a damn puppet. Just chink, watch them go. Just like the chainsaw I'm gonna go out there and fire up. They just pull our chains and watch us go. They get us mad at each other. We get upset about this and that, all this identity politics and all this bullshit. We're gonna find out real soon that none of that really matters. And we're either going to get together on this thing or we're going to fall apart. And right now, we're leaning towards that fall apart thing. Just saying. You're just going to keep going through day by day. I mean, the reason I made this, this meme, I just made this one. I'm really proud of myself here. I mean, there you go. You got your ballot box and you got your rake, I mean, you sit there and worry about this. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can vote however you want to in the midterms, and you're going to get the same shit. Unless you go out there, and people, I'm telling you right now, unless you go out there and you decide you're not voting for a single incumbent, you're not going to make any kind of change. Even by doing that, it's going to be marginal. You can talk red wave all you want. Red wave. Look what happened with Trump. They had everything. They didn't get nothing done. Because you're still going to have the likes of Mitch McConnell and then you had that Paul Ryan idiot in there. And I mean, it's just like the Democrats had majorities and they couldn't get shit done. Thanks to Joe Manchin, I mean, somebody needs to give that dude a good game slap on the ass. Him and Cinema, between those two, I mean, they saved our asses from a lot more pain because they were trying to get it. They were trying to get us piled up with a whole bunch more shit. They don't care. I don't know how many times I can say this. How many times I got to sit here and rap on your skulls? What is it that Bill Murray says at the end of Where the Buffalo Roam? He talks about he's going to gnaw on Nixon's skull. I mean, that's kind of the way I feel right now. It's just gnawing on fucking the skull of numerous of these presidents. I mean, I don't even know when I can think of a goddamn. You got to go back to like fucking Ike, I mean, before you come up with I don't know. Somebody. I mean, we don't need a president. First of all, okay, we don't need that. There's no reason for it. Look at what we got going right here. We got Mushy Mush. Oh, he's out there. He just got evacuated from his house because of an airplane. And apparently it was a guy that just hadn't paid attention to the FAA guidelines for when Joe Biden's at home, which is every weekend pretty much. He doesn't, I mean, why would he put any extra time in on anything? He doesn't know what's going on. No one tells him a thing anyways. They knew about this baby food thing in February. He comes out, he didn't even know anything about it till early April. Of course, I don't know. That was probably about it. When was it they got the old the link to the Pornhub or whatever from Hunty? It just keeps coming out on that dude. Guy wandering around the house naked, smoking crack with minor children in the place, chasing down, oh God, that dude. I mean, at this point, he's just like, I mean, how can it get any worse for this guy? Now, I shouldn't say that because it probably could. I mean, I don't know the guy. I mean, it seems like there's something going on. I don't know if he's been pushed out there and kind of been forced to be the point man. I mean, because what they call Biden the forced man in politics for a lot of years. Maybe he got sick of that. He just decided he's going to send old Hunty, put him out there, and maybe old Joe's smart or dumb like a fox. It could be. I mean, think about, you know what? I'll bet you Hunter Biden, I'll bet you he's immune to all of this shit. I'll bet you monkeypox don't even want nothing to do with that dude. Ugh. Monkeypox sees Hunter Biden coming in like, all right, that's it. We're out of here. Maybe they ought to take a culture off of that dude and use him for a vaccination. I mean, he's probably got a little bit of everything going on there. The Kellogg's variety pack of bleh. Oh, boy. I'll leave you on that note. All right. Probably check in later tonight. Be good. Be good at it. In all things, be kind. Do no harm. And wake up, people. We don't need this bullshit. We really don't. We don't need it. We know what to do. Let's just get out there and do it, okay? All right. Y'all stay up, be good. And if I can find the right button, be out of here. Leave you with a little oopsie loops.